5 days to go before the grand finale of Jamaica Festival, the much anticipated Grand Gala celebrations on August 6. And the countdown continues right here on Jamaica Magazine. Welcome to this Thursday edition. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. On our show today, we recap the National Festival Queens vying for the coveted title, as well as the little conversation and some icons of our homeland. And there's more, like increasing productivity in schools and remembering Sir Howard Cook. Lots of reasons you should stay with us. The full package begins right now.
Householders, business people, school administrators, protect yourself and your children from the chikungunya virus. Be on the alert. Help control the mosquito population. Chikungunya is a virus transmitted by the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which breeds in and around your home, workplace, and school. Destroy breeding sites. Empty old tires and all other containers where water can settle. Bore holes in old cans. Cover water drums and garbage cans. Wash flower pots and vases and clean pet dishes regularly. Protect yourself from mosquito bites. Cover your body as much as possible and use mosquito repellent containing DEET. And if you're experiencing symptoms of chikungunya, a sudden high fever, headache, rash, nausea, pain, stiffness, or severe joint pains, see your doctor or go to the nearest health center.
Good day, I'm Andrea Chisholm and this is your JIS News for Thursday, July 31. Organizers of the 62nd Dembe Agricultural, Industrial and Food Show say this year's event will be as big as ever despite the continuing drought conditions.
What we will use Dembe to do is to do a massive education program. Yes? One, we are asking farmers to desist from the slashing and burning practice. The JAS is also advocating, and we will intensify this through Dembe again, for rainwater harvesting, mini dams, yes, right, the distribution of black tanks, how we can use underground water as a part of the solution to solve our water crisis.
Chairman of the Dembe Planning Committee, Senator Norman Grant, says $75 million will be spent to stage the three-day event, but over $1 billion in economic benefits are expected. Dembe will be held from Friday, August 1 to Sunday, August 3 at the Dembe Showground in Clarendon. Aside from the regular attractions, this year's show will salute the late former Governor General Sir Howard Cook with a condolence book that will be opened to allow patrons to sign and pay their respects to the man who was a regular show attendee. The tourism product development company TPDCO is asserting its zero-tolerance approach to the adherence of jet ski regulations as it anticipates increased use of the personal watercraft over the holiday weekend. TPDCO's Executive Director Dennis Hickey says all jet ski operators must be registered with the Maritime Authority of Jamaica with identification numbers in the form of decals attached to the watercraft.
If you have never been licensed by the Maritime Authority, the law allows the seizure until these people have satisfied the requirements to be licensed.
Mr. Hickey explains that jet skis registered for private use cannot be utilized commercially.
We have lifted the ban on all private jet ski operations across the country, with some limitations, of course. Private jet skis cannot operate from certain areas such as the Blue Lagoon in Portland, licensed beaches, including those in the Grill, and public beaches, Hellshire, those in Montego Bay, others in Centon.
The executive director further warns that the enforcement team governing the operation of jet skis will be monitoring the shores more so during the holiday to ensure compliance with the regulations. On July 18, the operation of jet skis was reopened across the island for licensed watercraft users. This was after an island-wide ban was imposed in February to allow for the regularization of the commercial operations and for steps to be taken by the MAJ to register all watercraft in the island. The Ministry of Transport, Works and Housing is taking steps to regularize informal settlements at Brooks Common in Mape and Clarendon. Minister with responsibility for housing, Dr. Maurice Guy, recently toured the privately owned settlement and met with the occupants. He said the ministry was seeking to bring about a solution that would result in a win for the legitimate owners as well as the illegal occupiers of the property.
Government has a responsibility. We're not encouraging people to run on people's land to occupy it.
Dr. Guy said terms of payment would have to be worked out for the Brooks Common residents and asserted that more orderly development must take place to bring about a reasonable standard of living. Information Minister Senator Sandria Faulkner has called on the administration of the Savlamar Hospital to engage the users of its facility in ways to improve their own health management. She was speaking at a recent ceremony to celebrate the hospital's 50th anniversary.
Let us look at engaging the citizenry in taking individual and community action that can make a difference to their health.
After a 1958 fire, the rebuilt hospital was opened to the public on July 24, 1964. With the help of the National Works Agency, the hospital is currently undergoing a 5-year development plan which will see changes to the record storage and retrieval system and points of entry and exit, as well as the implementation of an integrated communication system. And finally, Tourism Minister Dr. Wicker McNeil is participating in several activities aimed at marketing Destination Jamaica during the 2014 Commonwealth Games, which is currently being held in Glasgow, Scotland. Minister McNeil represented Jamaica at the first Japan CARICOM Summit in Trinidad, where he departed on Tuesday for the Commonwealth Games. In Glasgow, Minister McNeil is attending a host of Jamaica Tourist Board promotional events, including 2 exclusive media and travel trade client receptions and a meeting with executives from TUI Travel PLC. And JTB has again activated the Jamaica House concept for the Commonwealth Games. Jamaica House Glasgow is being hosted in Royal Exchange Square in the heart of Glasgow and seeks to leverage the global focus on the Jamaica track and field team at this major sporting event. Activities seek to present an alluring snapshot of Jamaican culture, food and music, highlighting the destination both as a place to visit and do business. Minister McNeil is being accompanied by the Director of Tourism, Paul Pennycook, and returns to the island on Monday. And that's it for GIS News today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you so much for watching.
It keeps our bodies working, our food nutritious, our living and working spaces clean, and our lives comfortable. Water, the most precious resource necessary for the sustenance of life on our planet. Don't waste it. Let's conserve on this critical commodity. In the house, invest in storage containers and buckets. Take quick showers instead of long baths, and invest in water-efficient shower heads, toilets, and faucets. You may also want to consider one-pot meals and cooking methods that don't require much water. You could also wash fruits and vegetables in a bowl and reuse the water on your plants or grass. When cleaning dishes, fill both sinks and use one for washing and the other for rinsing. The leftover water can be used to wash off the concrete or asphalt in your yard. If you must wash your car at home, aim for once a fortnight and use a bucket to do the washing instead of running the hose. Don't delay. Start your water conservation practices today.
Getting students involved in areas of environmental concern and other productivity challenges around their schools will help them and the wider society. It's all part of the Productivity Improvement Project in schools. We hear from Tamara McHale on this new initiative.
We want a productive Jamaica. We are not productive Jamaicans. Productivity.
Schools Productivity Improvement Program is one component of the public education and awareness campaign within the Jamaica Productivity Center. And we recognize that it is important for us to do that because we're looking at persons who are going to be very instrumental in the labor force. We're looking at persons who after graduation is going to either join the labor force or proceed to higher education, because at the end of the day, productivity is really what is going to make the difference. And we see you as pioneers for productivity.
We are depending on you, our young people, to assist us in breaking this cycle of little or no productivity and to put this nation on a path for improved productivity and, of course, improvement in the general economy.
It was the first staging of the Jamaica Productivity Center Schools Productivity Improvement Project. The aim was to engage and train students on the issue of improving productivity in their schools and then challenge them to implement a plan showing how they have been able to do that. 8 schools participated, and the caliber of work was quite impressive.
Conserve, observe, preserve.
Yes, that was the slogan for the winning school, Immaculate Conception High.
The Immaculate Conservation Program is aimed at decreasing our wastage of valuable resources like water, electricity, and the toilet paper. So we have instilled programs, separate little programs. We have put up signs in the bathrooms and in the labs everywhere around the schools to turn off the taps, to turn off the lights when they're not supposed to be used. We've also made announcements over the intercom and during assemblies just to help raise awareness and to make sure that the girls don't forget what we're about.
Due to the conservation project that we've had, we have had a 45% decrease in use of water and a 42% decrease in use of tissue rolls and tissue paper and all those different things. Because we had a class competition, it increased the awareness of conserving for different classes.
Meanwhile, second place champions Jose Marti Technical High had a shortage of chairs problem.
Come on for the chair. After me not sit down on this dirty chair. Look how the chair goes sit. You girl, come on. How can they come so early and clean up?
We have achieved our goal. We made 100 chairs and we gave it to both grades 9 and 9 10 classes. We have noticed we have become more productive. The students, when they receive those chairs, they seem very happy, very overwhelmed and very appreciative, and this project will help them to let them learn more comfortably in class.
Third place champions Godfrey Stewart High School found an innovative way for the distribution of pack lunch tickets to their students. Other schools found creative ways to make use of the waste at their school, such as Porous High, which turned waste bottles and other recycled items into household tangibles like tissue holders, trinket boxes, and more. By all indications, the school's improvement project accomplished its purpose of heightening student awareness on the many ways they can apply ingenuity to turn challenges into productivity.
I want to appeal to every secondary and post-secondary student in Jamaica who in the near future will make the transition from school to work to begin now to take this issue of productivity improvement seriously.
Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity, to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go.
The National Water Commission (NWC) is now on a drive to rapidly fix leaks affecting the water distribution systems across the island. 2 leak hotlines have been established. Report leaks by calling 733-5655 and 733-5656. You may also send a text to 838-LEAK, that is 838-5325. Remember that a little effort will make a big difference. Be a leak detective. Conserve on water today.
3 stalwarts of Jamaica, Marcus Garvey, Bob Andy and Stuart Hall, men who have impacted people across the world with their work to nurture mental liberation, music and culture. They were the focus at the signature conversations put on by the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission as part of our Jamaica Festival month-long celebration.
Bob Andy's I've Got to Go Back Home represent a continuation of independent development in regards to an Afro-Jamaican experience. I've Got to Go Back Home works firstly as a song that serves all the purposes of entertaining audiences over time and across age groups. In fact, some music insiders have called it the perfect song. It certainly endures as one of the most popular party songs, one whose lyric and horn parts are so well remembered and loved that they are sung aloud whenever the song is played. These are the signs of a real classic. These are the signs of a real classic. Just like when you hear pa da da dee da pa 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 pa. When we hear ta da ta da da dee da da da. Classic business that.
I have to stand up and at least pay respect or respects to somebody who I consider an integral part of the Jamaican music industry. It has contributed in many capacities from a music standpoint as a songwriter, composer, performer.
Bob and myself, I like to look at it as just being outside of just the physical. It's really a spiritual bond.
We just cherish each and every day that we have Bob with us.
We credit a lot of great things to Marcus Garvey, but if you really study the history, you will realize that a lot of things that Garvey did, he was not the originator of the idea. What separated Garvey from others was his ability to organize. His genius lied in the mechanism of organization. If you say Africa for the Africans, Martin Delaney said that. If you say race first, Hubert Harrison said that. Paul Coffey and Chief Sam had ships going to Africa before Garvey was even born. The idea of going back to Liberia, Edward Wilmot Blyden and others were there. So a lot of times we credit these ideas to Garvey because he was so good at propagating it, at using propaganda to motivate the masses of our people to action through the mechanism of organization. Garvey said the greatest weapon used against us is disorganization, and he came to remove that as an obstacle. So in everything that he did, it held the principle of organization. We as a race, we as a people have to learn how to better organize ourselves and how to organize our institutions so that they outlast and outlive these personalities and these leaders that we sometimes canonize and martyr, and after they're gone, we spend hundreds of years talking about them. When they were alive, we weren't talking about them, but when they're gone, we talk about them, and we forget the organizations and the structures that they gave their life and time to create and build up. Sometimes we get lost in what the focus should be. The focus is not necessarily, oh, black is beautiful and be proud of black. The focus is that as a race, we need to get organized. If we are organized, then we are in better control of our cultural systems, our educational institutions, our commerce, our economics. Organization is the greatest lesson that Marcus Garvey brought to us as a people and to the planet.
Born in a rural agricultural community, Hall, a multiracial Jamaican, stood as an embodied reminder of the plantation experience. He carried connections to the first Africans imported from West Africa and enslaved. But his ancestry was also connected to planter classes, Portuguese and Spanish Jews, who were among the earliest settlers to arrive in the 1490s, and who stood effectively as the surrogate parents for all within the plantation empire. Hall also bore a visual resemblance to the Asians who arrived in the region as indentured workers, sourced from India after the British slave emancipation in 1834, who remained and integrated with the African present. Hall refers to the sojourn to the United Kingdom in the early 1950s as a reunion among exiles of colony. Out of this space was to emerge some of the finest West Indian literary classics, poignant, introspective treatise on being the colonial other, transitioning a fast-changing and complicating world where parochialism was being replaced by metropolitan multiculturalism. Hall enters the stage at this moment and becomes a key figure in interrogating the intellectual landscape which became known as cultural studies. Hall had landed a home, a space to make the imagined a reality, seated in the belly of the beast as a critical thinker, becoming a key voice in liberating the strictures of colonial episteme and expression where it mattered. He joined a cadre of thinkers to transcend the colonial world and to interrogate the colonial ontology through the academy.
The finals started out with 13 contestants vying for the crown of Miss Festival Queen 2014. In the process, they had to do cultural items and answer questions of national importance. The judges got to make the final decision, but you can form your own opinion on their performance and enjoy what they had to offer in the way of entertainment. We put together a little highlight package to help you with that.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and I just want to say a warm welcome to this, the world-famous place into the beautiful island of Jamaica, the Milk River, Hodel and Super, right here into Clarendon.
Yo, hey, what culture nice to see? My culture really wealthy, my culture rich. Me not talk about money, my culture rich. This is no mystery, my culture rich. Also richly, my culture rich. My culture rich. Me dance to ska, little dinky minute. I'm afraid that I could look at them love right in me.
Me try hard, forget read of them, but it's like my life. Depend a downward trend, some offy, redefine myself, to find my true self. Redefine myself, redefine myself, redefine myself, and find myself in a place where success is not a race with others, but a mental state where I can be someone to emulate.
Right, and I'm one bigger part of the Jamaican people, and we have done what's 52 years with there, and we have got through enough struggles, but guess what? We're still strong. Run the trap bands, man! Rock your body, Jamaican people! Run, come and me sing this song, yeah! Lord, Jamaica song, this a Jamaica song, make we pick up Jamaica 52 artists.
taking me out, got my head spinning.
We keep hearing the phrase, Jamaica has a rich culture. Do you agree, and why?
Indeed, Jamaica has a rich culture. Only in Jamaica you can trace the culture of our people in tow with our music, in tow with our dance, in tow with what was going on politically in the country. Only in Jamaica you have so many different folklores, so many different dances from so many different parishes across the nation. Quite recently, I learned about Tambo in my very own parish that I didn't know about. And the thing is, it was sort of kept secret, which I don't know why, but it was around the 1966 that they performed it for everybody. And it only goes to show that there probably is so much in Jamaica that has not yet been discovered. We are rich culturally, and I am extremely proud of that. Thank you.
You're way too beautiful. You're beautiful to resist, and you're more than wonderful. Yes, every day is bliss.
Our new festival queen 2014 is Angel Bryan.
What's going on in that beautiful mind? I'm on your magical mystery ride, and I'm so dizzy.
As a teacher at the Montego Bay Boys School, now the Cornell Day Primary School, he helped to mold the minds and character of many of the young leaders of Montego Bay. I didn't have the privilege of being taught by him in school. I was taught by his son. But I remember Sir Howard very well, walking at a deliberate pace down Barks Road and Hart Street regularly, sometime in his suit, always with what would appear to be the right amount of time for everyone. He'd maybe stop by Roy's Bar and some other bar for a few minutes, not drinking. But he would always be prepared with a ready smile and a word of comfort and hope for those who would greet.
Well, I recall when I was a student at the then Montego Bay Boys School, now Coronel de Primary, I remember he's taking time out of his busy schedule to write to my now dear departed brother, urging her to invest fully in my education as I had great potential. Thank you, Teacher Cook. Today I can proudly say I am somebody.
When it was time for him to leave King's House, Sir Howard headed home for St. James, where he said, "The people don't call me Governor General or Sir. They still call me teacher, and that is the way I like it."
I hope you haven't forgotten about the celebrations of drums tomorrow in your parish capitals, plus the mellow go-round, 8 p.m. at the Ranny Williams Entertainment Center. There's also Family Day on Saturday, and this is an island-wide activity with Heart of Ska Festival starting at 12 noon at the Ranny Williams Entertainment Center in Kingston. Plus, if you like food, the Dutchy Food Festival is happening same time, same place on Sunday. So go out and celebrate our culture this weekend and let us know how you enjoyed it. Send those comments to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or tweet at JIS News. You can also keep the link via our website, jis.gov.jm. We have another show for you tomorrow, so join us then. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.